There they are. Tammy and Gloria are back as this week's closers. So if you think the State of the Union speech was basically Biden's 2024 launch pad and he'll be announcing soon, Donna Brazile this morning had a different idea.
The president doesn't need to announce his re-election until late fall before, the deadlines to get on the ballot in some of those key strategic states.
Late fall. And she even seems to think he might not run at all. But guess who she guarantees will be the Democrats' nominee if he doesn't?
While her poll numbers may not reflect her true popularity, I can guarantee you Kamala Harris will not be replaced on the party's ticket. And I can also guarantee you, if Joe Biden decides not to run, Kamala Harris will become the next nominee of the Democratic Party.
Which, of course, would be very upsetting for California's Gavin Newsom, but it seems that others in the Democrat establishment have their doubts about him too. Here was former Obama strategist David Axelrod interviewed in the LA Times telling Newsom to, quote, cool it with a self-congratulatory criticism of national Democrats. Quote, I would dial down the moralizing about other people's lack of courage and make the points you want to make, because when you do it the other way, the coded message is, why can't they be more like me? And that is an unappealing message. Doesn't exactly make friends either. He's a very talented performer, and he's got a powerful story in many ways. But the authenticity thing is important, and it's TBD as to whether he communicates that. Gloria, you know Gavin and Kamala. What do you think of Donna Brazile's idea that the vice president's poll ratings don't reflect her true popularity and that Gavin Newsom has an authenticity problem?
Well, the last thing that Democratic voters want to hear is that this is suggestive of a rigged election. It's rather, I think, infuriating to go ahead and to say that somebody's being guaranteed as the Democratic Party nominee. No, the voters will decide that. And whoever it may be, I would say that what Gavin has going for him is that he is not part of the Biden-Harris administration. And whatever his faults may be, voters will remember that. The other thing I would say as well, too, is that it seems there's a bit of a head fake going on by trying to push Joe out to not file till much later. That just means that they're trying to basically run the clock.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Tammy, isn't it? And if they do that, right, there's a long time between now and late fall for Biden to, I don't know, the polite word would be to put his foot in it.
Well, yes, but it also keeps donors from taking steps. So the longer that Joe Biden takes, the less donors are going to know where they should go. So it keeps others from being able to get money and spend money. I would also say that with Newsom as part of the Nancy Pelosi pipeline, now that she's no longer the speaker, that she's not in that role, this could mean that she doesn't necessarily have as much influence, being third in line for the presidency. But Gavin Newsom has that pipeline, and Gloria's absolutely right. It was the next in line pipeline, like the Republicans had the next in line pipeline. But I agree. Look, I like Donna Brazile, but she's wrong very often. But she's right in this instance that he doesn't have to declare. But when she says that the poll numbers don't really reflect Kamala Harris's true popularity, she's right about that as well, because it's probably lower. I mean, these polls are just like, make it seem as though even, I don't know, 30% really like Kamala. I don't know if they haven't had their medication or where they've been locked up, but I think it really is probably a bit lower. Americans are going to have a choice. This is also an opportunity for the Democrats. And you know who really represents the Democratic base, Steve, is Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. And Kyrsten couldn't be a Democrat anymore. Who knows what Joe Manchin's going to do? So this could, in fact, be a real devolution of the Democrat Party at this point.
So, Gloria, I'd love you to talk, because you were in California like I am, but you know that you've worked alongside many of them, these political leaders. With Kamala Harris, my view is, I've said this before, that actually her problem is that she's actually not nearly as far left as she feels she needs to be these days to get on in the party. And she's got the authenticity problem, because instead of actually being herself, she's got a mouthing all this woke stuff that she doesn't really believe in. That's why she comes across so terribly.
Well, I agree with that, but I think also a bigger challenge to her is that there's a question about what has she done. Remember, she ran, all of them ran, saying, I'm ready, I'm going to be ready to be president. the job of border czar was given to her. And today, the border is in a bigger crisis than what it was when she assumed office. That's something that the voters are going to look at. Likability factors are very important. Women are judged more harshly. I wrote a book about this. But at the end of the day, you have to look at her record, and voters see through to see she's not doing her job. She's not ready to assume the mantle. And Gavin doesn't have that problem.
Yeah.
I'm not vouching for Gavin, but right now he's not in that position.
Look, quick last word, Tammy.
Well, look, with what we've seen this last week with China and unidentified flying crafts, whoever's going to be the nominee for both parties are going to have to be trusted by the American people to be a good commander-in-chief. No Democrat sits in that position right now.
And strong. That's what people are looking for.
That's
Thank
right.
you both.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.